Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to replace pads and rotors, the front on this 01 Chevy Malibu. This is a pretty easy process, pretty much regular tools. You'll need a lug nut, wrench, or your tire iron. You'll need some millimeter, probably metric sockets. I used a 1/2 inch on a couple of the bolts, which I didn't think was right, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't. So you'll probably need 12 millimeter and maybe like a 15 millimeter socket. Or if, like on our car, your car's been worked on, you'll need some different sizes. Some brake parts cleaner or mineral spirits, and a large C-clamp.
Let's start on this Malibu. It's got the aluminum wheels, so screwdriver right into this little key here. You're going to want to remove the wheel. If you're using hand tools, loosen the lug nuts while your tire's on the ground first, then raise and secure the car. Follow the instructions on your jack and jack stands. And I get the benefit of air tools, so I'm going to remove this wheel now. So with my wheel off, I've now turned my wheels all the way to the right. And you can see here's the brake caliper. Now what you can do is you can check your brakes yourself. Just a little light. And right in here, you can see that's your brake pad. Okay, and actually on this car the pads look good on this side, but don't let one side to be your deciding factor. Because now I'm looking over here on the driver's side, and you can see there's the pad on the driver's side. There's hardly anything left between the metal here and the rotor there. So the driver's side definitely needs to be done, and you should always do your brakes in pairs, so we'll end up doing both sides. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to loosen up or remove 4 bolts. Okay, the first two on this car, they're these inner ones here. These are actually 1/2 inch in size. Okay, and there's one there, and then there's one up here. Okay, and that, when you remove those two, this whole assembly will come off. And you also want to remove these two here. These are 12 millimeter. And those will just allow the caliper itself to come off the bracket. So I'll remove those. And again, the inner ones are 1/2 inch, and then these ones here are 12 millimeter. I was kind of surprised by that, but that is the way it is. Okay, and just so you can see it can be done, I'm just going to use regular hand tools to get these apart. Okay, there's the inner one, and then up here. There's the upper one. Okay, before I take those all the way out, I'm going to remove my top ones. And once I got some out, I can basically just use my fingers. And if you support the caliper a little bit, these will come out. Okay, if you did just want to change your pads, you could pull really hard on this caliper, which forces the piston back in, and that allows the caliper to come up and off, because there's a little peg on your pads that holds the caliper on. But I'm just going to remove these 2 inner bolts here. So after removing those bolts all the way, the whole assembly comes up and off. Okay. Your pads are right inside here. Pull them out. That actually allows this whole assembly. This is your caliper. You want to hang it up here, and the other pad will come out. At this point, the disc actually comes right off. new disc from 1A Auto. You can see it's all the same dimensions. And it's going to go right on there. What I like to do is just take one lug nut and put it on. Just makes things easy to go back together. You want to use some brake parts cleaner or mineral spirits and just wipe down the disc. Get any of the grease or any of the preservative that was in the packaging off. Now, you actually have to force this piston back into the caliper, so you're going to need a large C-clamp. Now that you have the piston down in the caliper, now you're going to just take your smaller 12mm bolts and bolt your bracket back on here. You can just have them be hand tight. Here's our caliper, and the inside side is the side with the cylinder here. And you want to put these ones that have the wear tabs and these kind of these bumps here, those go to the inside. So my caliper's upside down, so I'm putting the curved side down. Okay, and then I'm pushing these just right into their respective brackets. Push in, okay, and then your outside ones don't have the little wear indicator on them. You just go down in and then push into place. Sometimes you have to start one side and then force them into the other side. Okay. And now put the assembly down on. I've already got my larger bolts kind of in place. I've got the top one started. And now the bottom one. Okay. I've got them both started. Tighten them up. You want to pull them tight, but not incredibly tight. You don't want to break the bolts or anything, but probably about 55, 60 foot-pounds. Make sure our 12mm bolts are tight here. Okay. And this side's all set. And now I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll put the tire back on. Now with the car back on the ground, you want to tighten your lug nuts. And I'm using a breaker bar. You want to tighten them to about 75 to 85 foot-pounds. And I just make them nice and tight, and you use a star pattern. Okay, and then you put your cap back on. Now when you road test the car, what you want to do, first start it up, press the brakes 3 or 4 times, okay? Then put the car in gear, make sure the brakes just hold the car still. And then do like a, back up, give yourself plenty of room, do like a 5 or 10 mile an hour stop, make sure the brakes are stopped in the car, and then go out on the road. The first few times you press the brakes after you've done your front brakes, the brakes will not work that well. So you want to pump them a few times and then be careful on the road test.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.